So it seems like Turning Point USA took the money Charlie Kirk didn't want to take. I read an article, which I missed it, and it's almost 2 months later, but I read this article that the Turning Point USA donors recommitted back to Turning Point USA a day after Charlie Kirk was marked. That is pretty damn fast, if you ask me. That is ultra fast. So that means his path of changing, which I'm doing a video on, 2 videos that were definitely him changing his path against, or rather changing his path for Jews and going sort of against them, looking at the nonsense that they're spreading and the things that they were trying to make him do. And he called them bullies. And for decades, centuries, they've been called bullies. Tiny hats have been called bullies by a lot of the things they do. And Charlie Kirk used the same language. So I knew he was annoyed by them. But the $150 million that they offered them, he didn't take it. He gave it back to them. He was separating from those donors. And then the day after he gets murked, those donors recommit. Now, I do not know exactly which donor it is. That's the problem. But it's just very interesting that he gets murked, they recommit, and then all of a sudden Turning Point gets all this money. So now there is a rumor out there that Turning Point USA was starting a school. That's seemingly false, because they said it was $175 million. When I read the article title, I was like, got him. But then I looked at it, I go, something doesn't seem right. So I did some more research behind it, and I'm like, yeah, it was too on the nose. So, again, like for a hot second, I fell for it. But I said, before I report this, let me do some more research. And so the school's not happening, and it's not the Erica Kirk School. It was some ridiculous name, too. That's what also caught my attention. But anyway, all that to say, guys, is that there is definitely something here. And the craziness about it, guys, is that, for example, Candace Owens, who is not a journalist, I have to say that because a lot of the things she's researching or coming out with, she's doing a decent job. I wouldn't say she's doing a great job. She's doing a decent job. And in her case, and even in my case, I'm starting to think like a journalist now, right? I'm starting to think, all right, I got to do more research into anything I speak about. I have to come out with some kind of proof or something I read stating this is where I got my information from. So even if I got it wrong, this is where I got it from. And though that's still not an excuse, I'm trying to be better at it. Candace Owens is the top pinnacle of a conservative talking head. She has to do that kind of research. So, of course, now they're trying to paint her as a bad guy, Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. And Tucker Carlson, though, is saying some interesting shit. I do listen, but I'm not agreeing with everything he's saying because I'm looking to do my own research. Candace Owens is throwing Turning Point USA under the bus. Candace Owens got caught on CNN in an interview where she got one thing wrong. The text messaging between Tyler Robbins and his lover. And she stated that that was Discord. Now, the media stated that that was on Discord. All over the media. They said it was the Discord. If I'm not mistaken, the FBI Kash Patel said that that conversation was on Discord himself. It wound up not being Discord. It wound up being a text message chain between those two. So she got that wrong. And all of the people who hate Candace Owens are like, look, we got her. She was wrong. No, idiot. If you look at where the information came from the beginning, it came from the FBI and it came from the media. So she ran with it. She didn't double check. And when the indictment affidavits came out, it stated it was a text message. So she didn't read the indictment statement. Big fucking deal. But she was still close. And repeatedly, Candace Owens repeatedly stated over and over again, if you think I'm wrong and you think I'm lying, prove me wrong and come after me. Sue me. She's wants all the smoke. She's like, bring it. And no one has brought it to her. Now, Ben Shapiro is going on his tiny hat tour, trying to make her look bad and evil and lying straight to the people's face. But Ben Shapiro's followers are drones. Here's the problem, guys. You cannot be a drone to anybody you listen to. You have to think on your own. Like, you guys disagree with me on a lot of the shit I say, and then you agree with me on some of the things you say. That's how we're supposed to function as a society. We're not supposed to jump on board the Candace Owens train and believe everything she says. We can't jump on the Ben Shapiro train and believe everything he says. Granted, there are a lot of things you like about what these people say, Like Charlie Kirk, I resonated with him a lot more because he was more honest. Did I agree with everything he said? No. But I resonated with him more. I resonate with Candace Owens. Officer Tatum, that Uncle Tom, I resonated with some of the things he said. But once Charlie Kirk, actually, right after Charlie Kirk got murked, all of a sudden, Officer Tatum became the 10th tap dancing clown of the century. He was the biggest Uncle Tom, shuckling and jiving, coon having, watermelon eating, cornbread smiling. Like, yo, he became all of that for Israel. I've never seen such a switch in my life other than him. He used to talk like we're talking now. Now everything with him is standing up for Israel, AIPAC, this, that, and the third. It's like he's covered in Israel cum, Jew cum all over his face. He's not even wiping it off. He's just letting it sit on his face and talking like a clown. Again, guys, all of this to say that Turning Point USA is, I think, in my opinion, failing America. And after Charlie Kirk was murked, the amount of money that they're receiving now, the amount of donors that recommitted back to them is very, very suspicious. Now, can I sit here and stand here and like, it was those? No, but the recommitment part was the red flag. And they used that term for a reason, because those are the Jewish donors that backed away from him that are now recommitting to Turning Point USA. And everybody is donating to Turning Point USA like they're this wounded animal. Like, if you're going to donate to anybody, donate directly to Erica Kirk and her family. They need the money. Well, they don't need the money. But if you're going to donate to anybody, you donate to the family directly, not to an organization like Turning Point USA. Like, if they would have had a GoFundMe for Erica Kirk and the kids, I would have probably donated to that, not the Turning Point. The amount of money Turning Point made off of Charlie Kirk's death is insane. And because he backed away from them and was losing money, then he passes away and now they're making more money. That is cause for a little more investigation into this whole thing. All I'm going to say. Other than that, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth Channel.